Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to another epic unboxing. Not really. And if you guys have watched my other previous unboxing videos, I think unboxing videos are kind of campy and pointless. But what I want to point out on this, and I am going to open up the box, I want to point out something that I find very important when dealing with mid-priced, high-end, entry-level fishing gear. It's the way the companies follow up or follow through after purchase. And I guess it was maybe 2 months ago or a month and a half ago, I bought a black hole 9'6" surf rod blank. And I like the rod. I like the rod a lot. It's becoming one of my go-to rods. I've put a couple thousand pounds of fish on it, and it's performed very well. But the blank had a slight bend in I guess the last 12 inches. And it was something that I had brought up in passing on one of the forums. And Kilsong, who is I guess the sole importer of black hole in the United States, reached out to me and offered me a replacement. And he said, you know what, keep the rod that you have already, and if you want to try the 9'2", which is the lighter action rod, he offered me that blank as a replacement. And that came in the mail. I paid shipping, and he got me the rod, what is it, the day after Memorial Day? So I just want to point out certain things that are important when dealing with some of these manufacturers. And I had a run-in with a high-end fishing rod company called Tailwalk. I bought 3 of their rods. They're about $400 a piece. And 2 of their rods are noticeably warped. And I dealt directly with apparently the president of the company through Facebook. That's who I ordered the rods. He took my credit card number and he claimed he was the president or very high up in the company. I had an issue with one of the reel seats breaking, where the glue joint on one of the trim bands wasn't adhered properly. I didn't complain. I just let them know about it, so that way for future orders or somewhere in the assembly they might want to pay attention to it for quality control. I glued it myself. I wasn't complaining. But when I reached out to them with an actual issue with the products, and again, I've owned over 300 rods, and yeah, not all blanks are straight. But when you're sitting there fishing and it looks like you got something bent in the rod, that's kind of an issue. And he asked me for a photograph. I did him one better. I shot a quick 10-second video where I was rolling the blank on a mat so you can actually see how far off. It was about 5/8 of an inch off. He said he'd send it to their engineering department or whatever their department is, and he would get back to me. That was a year ago. And I've pinged him about a dozen times on Facebook. Haven't heard a word since. So a company like Tailwalk, no longer going to do business with them. I'm no longer going to recommend them. To have somebody that high up in the organization blatantly ignoring somebody who spent $1,200 and $1,300 on rods and referred 12 other purchases for a couple $1,000s directly to them, to completely ignore them, that's dirty pool in my book. So this is going to be the replacement rod that Kilsong sent to me. is straight as an arrow. I'm going to stab my ceiling with it. Ooh, that's a better fitting joint too than the other one. This is a pretty light blank. It's not the most powerful thing in the world. It's rated 1 to 3 ounces at 9'2", so it's a lighter duty rod. But man, it's got some balls to it as it loads up to the power section. All right, I'm gonna have fun with this. I like the action of it. I think I'm going to wrap this one strictly conventional. The amount of 9-foot plus rods that are available on the market from the factory in conventional form are especially for the surf. I mean, almost all conventional rods nowadays for surf duty are all for heavyweight chunking. So it's nice to have a nice, plugging size rod for the surf in a conventional. This looks like it's going to be a fun rod. See if I can show the camera a little bit of bendiness. It's not going to show up. I don't want to damage the rod. That's showing up? I don't know. But yeah, beautiful rod. This one seems to be straighter than the other one. Looks like the makeup of the blank is a little bit different. You can see the carbon fiber twill. You can see I don't know if it's showing up at all. If you see the joint, that mesh, you can see how the mesh, and then right around here there's a transition. I believe on the 9'6", that transition didn't really exist throughout this section. It was all in the butt section. I feel like the butt section on the 9'2" is actually longer. But hey, it's a light rod. I like this. I'm going to have fun with this after I build it. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was mainly, I wasn't going to do an unboxing video for this. It was mainly me just, I don't know, complaining a little bit. How I was, burned by a company. I don't want to say burned. I bought a bunch of rods from him and he bailed on me. So now I have a 9'6" Tailwalk high tide TZ that is bent like that, and an 8'2" Tailwalk tie game TZ that has a permanent set to it. Hey, and I've owned hundreds of rods. I've never had rods form set before, so it's not the way I store them. So boo on you, Tailwalk, and good job, Kilsong and Black Hole. Thank you for standing by our product. You, sir, are a good man. Alright guys, tight lines. Oh yeah, look at my fishies. That's Mako. He thinks he's a clownfish. Those are cloud minnows. And that little guy right there, that's Steve. He's the lone rasbora who now thinks he's a cloud minnow. What'd you do, Mako? You having fun? And this is the perpetually cloudy tank. That's Taco. He's a tough guy. Mako is the friendly one.